It's Monday night. That means it's meat and potatoes time. I'm James. We have Tommy here, and we have our new person guest, John. John, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, where you come from, how big your shoes are.
Hi. I'm also known as Fridge, the Nugget King.
I think you were demoted to the barbecue sauce prince.
No. That has to be voted on. I came from my dad
Nice.
about 40 years ago. And then, I don't know, 40 years old, ride a motorcycle, play hockey, have kids, go to work. I do nothing fun. I'm old.
Well, hopefully this is fun for you.
We will see.
With that being said, Tommy has a little bit of an icebreaker for us today. So, Tommy, I'm going to let you take it.
Okay, so last week we did random candy bars, so I'm going to piggyback off that, and we'll do random top 10 cereals. So I just jotted down 10 cereals, first 10 that came to my head, and we're going to do random ranking.
This is going to be fun for me. I have a cereal craving about once a year, and then I don't have cereal the rest of the year.
Well, it came to me because the other day I was craving Captain Crunch Berries. And so I had a bowl this morning, and I'm like, you know what? There's my 10.
So what you're saying is you had a craving to cut the roof of your mouth up.
Yes.
They do scrape the roof of your mouth.
Chew on glass.
So, well, since we're talking about it, I did go ahead and put just the normal Captain Crunch on the list. So where will we rank that?
10.
10?
10.
So I prefer just a regular Captain Crunch to Crunch Berries. It's peanut butter. 4.
4?
No. 10.
They don't cut the roof of your mouth up as much, and they're just delicious. I'm sorry.
I prefer the Crunch Berries to the regular Captain Crunch. Not a big peanut butter fan. I will say 7, considering they do kill your roof of your mouth. Next would be Apple Jacks.
Ooh.
Where we were rating those.
That's one of my favorites growing up.
Disgusting.
You probably don't like any cereal, do you?
I'm not a big cereal guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
No. I like really sugary stuff.
I love
I do know
anything
that.
apple flavored.
Yeah, but the calling Apple Jacks apple flavored is like, calling Fruity Pebbles pineapple flavored. Yeah, sure.
Actual fruit.
Yeah. Apple Jacks are great though. I'm going with number 3. So I got 3 and 4.
Okay, I'm gonna go 2 with Apple Jacks because I absolutely love Apple Jacks.
That'd probably be about a 7 on mine. That's pretty low.
Wow, 7 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a split in bowling.
Next, I got Cookie Crisp.
Oh, I'll do some Cookie Crisp.
They're garbage. They're not good. Those cookies aren't good. I'm sorry. No, even the advertisements pissed me off as a kid.
Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, that's. Was that a dog?
It was a dog.
Yeah,
He was
it was
being
a
chased by
dog
the
and a
police.
thief or something.
Kind of like a dog.
There was cops and dogs and
Yeah,
and the whole thing sucks. 10.
10. Okay.
What?
Where are you at? You said you like sugary things, so I'm guessing you're going to be a little bit higher than...
There's no
It's
sugar
not-
added in those.
It's not a good sugary cereal, so
Yeah,
it's kind of.
Those chocolate chips
I'm
don't
just
have
gonna be
sugar.
It's still good, but it's still an 8 on my list of all.
Those are brown dirt balls with like a micro ounce of cocoa in it. There's no sugar in the chocolate chips. It's not a cookie. It's an empty shell of what a cookie wants to be. I can't do it.
Okay. I guess I one higher than my Captain Crunch, so I'll say 6. Now remember, these are not the top 10 best ever. These were the top 10 that first came to my brain. So
Yeah, that's what
if-
I'm
if
knowing
my-
what you're going to choose. So
If my favorite is not on this list, I'll tell you at the end.
okay. Next, I'm gonna go with Frosted Flakes.
I'm a sucker for Frosted Flakes. I like Frosted Flakes. I like Raisin Bran. I like all those types of things. Ooh. I took a 3 and 4 up already. I can't put it at number 2. I wish I didn't use 3 and 4 so quickly. I'm going to put it at 5. I don't think it belongs at 5. I think it's a little better than that.
Okay.
But I do enjoy a Frosted Flake, although I'm going to go back to it's an annoying mascot again.
it'll be a 5 for me.
A 5.
Yeah.
They're not number 1 for me, and I've already used number 2 for Apple Jacks, so I guess I would say they're 3. They're pretty great.
All right, you're kicked off this podcast.
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
I got to stop you for
That's
one
strike
second.
1. Do I get a timeout?
We get a dunce cap in. Quick caveat: who's the bigger child predator? Is it Tony the Tiger or is it Chester Cheetah?
Chester Cheetah.
Chester Cheetah gets worse in the media, but it might be the sneaky Tony the Tiger.
I gotta go with Tony, the buff furry.
I think he's like sports.
He's predator? A buff furry. That's a man in a fursuit. That is not an actual tiger.
So he's a sports predator, like those sports medicine doctors that get in trouble all the time.
Yeah, what does he do in the Olympics?
I can't say it. I don't think
with the ties to Michigan and Michigan State, we probably should stay away from that subject.
Oh, don't even start with that. You fucking U of M fan. Oh.
As I'm rocking my Wolverine shirt right now.
For anyone who doesn't know, this podcast comes straight out of Metro Detroit, and I even hate it because my fiance is a U of M fan. House divided, but go green all day.
Go blue.
MSU. U of M is easy to root for. It's like, I like dynasties. I like easy sports and fun things. I don't like to lose. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Refute that.
There's none to refute. Yeah. I didn't go to Michigan. I didn't go to Michigan State. So
you pick the one that's easy to root for because they don't lose. Or they typically don't lose.
Furry.
Actually, the way that I became a Michigan fan was I was around 10, 11 years old, and I was hanging out with my friend Matt. We were watching
Was Matt dressed as Tony the Tiger at this time?
Actually, no. He was a fan of Michigan, and he's like, pick a team. Are you State or are you Michigan? And at that time, I looked at the screen, and I liked the yellow and blue at the time. I liked the uniforms better, and that was kind of how that went.
All right, so real quick, do you know your color wheel a little bit, Tommy?
Yeah.
What is yellow and blue mixed to make?
Yellow and blue mixed to make is that
green, baby.
I was just saying
green.
I had to think about it. I was like green or purple.
I can't give you too much shit on the reason you like U of M, because the reason I'm a Philadelphia Flyers fan is because growing up playing NHL 96 on the Super Nintendo, 5 older brothers. Guess who always picked Detroit Red Wings? I was the youngest of 6, so I am never getting to pick the Detroit Red Wings. So what do? I have to pick an alternate team. Ended up on the Philadelphia Flyers, but then I fell in love with them. LeClaire and Lindros, the Legion of Doom, the Broad Street Bullies, all amazing teams. We're getting way off serial here.
Oh, I know, because I was just about to say NFL or NHL in '94 was the greatest.
Talking NHL '94, it was always the New Jersey Devils.
The Devils. When's the last time they won a Stanley Cup?
I know.
All right, back to cereal.
Okay. So we were at Frosted Flakes. So next would be Lucky Charms.
Oh gosh. Did I put Crunch Berry? No, I didn't use a 10.
No, you didn't.
Because Crunch Berries would have been 10. Lucky Charms are shit.
Really?
I do not like the texture of cereal marshmallows.
If anybody could see Fridge's face right now, is about the face that I'm making as well.
Fridge, you only like it because it has fake marshmallows. If it didn't have that, you would not eat the oat cereal on its own.
As a child, it was much better, but...
That I do agree.
The recipe is...
Everything's better as a child, except Tony the Tiger. Anyway, 10. Solid. Wait, no, I swear I used my 10.
I think maybe you used your 10 for the Captain Crunch, because you said it scraped your...
Captain Crunch was mid-grade. Read me off what you have so far.
We did Apple Jacks, Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp was my 10, so it's got to go number 9.
Okay.
2. It's a 2.
It's 2. If it wasn't for marshmallows, it would be a 15, right?
No, 2 is good. 15.
That's what I'm saying. But if you took the marshmallows out of Lucky Charms, would you like that cereal?
The only thing that I could put lower than 10 would be like Kix.
I don't even know what Kix tastes like. I don't think I've ever had them.
It's like an old.
They look like Cheeto Puffs without cheese dust on them. Which brings us back to Chester and Tony. Okay, I gotta stop calling back to the Tony the Tiger Predator shit. All right, go ahead.
Okay, for Lucky Charms, number 1. I think it does trump the Lucky Charm. Apple Jacks for me.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's so good.
No, it's not.
I will say, like he did say, that it is not as good as it was in my childhood, but
go on Amazon and buy a bag of cereal marshmallows on their own and eat those because it's not cereal.
I don't want to be fat.
That's all you want. We're all fat. Oh gosh, I can't be on this podcast.
I mean, we can
Okay.
put marshmallows in with any other cereal.
How about a quote-unquote healthier option? Honey Nut Cheerios.
8. And this is coming from a guy that loves anything honey. There's not enough honey flavor for it to trump the cardboard that is Cheerios.
I don't like Cheerios because every time I get sick, like stale Cheerios is what I cough up or
Okay.
yak. So no, it's like if I haven't used 9 yet, it's a 9.
I don't believe I've used 10. Oh, man. I think I may have used 10. If not, it's a 9 or 10.
You'd think the guy with the notebook next to him would be writing these things down.
I wasn't. I'm reading off my list.
Which is on an iPad. 2 separate apparatuses.
At least I'm not stuttering
apparatuses.
every 5 seconds and I'm nervous like I was last time. I did listen back and I sounded dumb.
I got news for you, bud. It hasn't changed.
So we did Honey Nut Cheerios. Next would be Trix. Where's everybody at Trix?
It's a garbage cereal. You came up with these off the top of your head. Did you just go, I'm going to pick Chugger's least favorite cereals and read them off to him?
Maybe you're the problem.
Whatever's 7, I think, is left. Bottom of the list.
You're a problem. You're a real problem.
I told you at the beginning I'm not a cereal eater, so this is going to affect my list. You haven't even touched my top 10 yet. I wouldn't put any of these on my top 10 if I was picking my own cereals.
It's like a mid for me. It would be like a 4.
Okay, I'm at like 8. I believe an 8 with Trix.
Do you want to answer that live on the air?
No, because it's probably just people that.
Yeah, I probably should silence
for
my
no
device.
reason.
Not like I'm popular or anything.
So popular.
How about Corn Pops?
Popular.
God, there's.
See, now you got one I like.
Horrible cereal.
No, now you got one I like. Corn Pops is going number 1 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a top 3 cereal for me.
Okay, so Corn Pops for me. I skipped right over you, like you didn't even matter.
There's no pecking order here.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's.
Whatever highest remaining left I have, that would be which I believe would be 4.
We would know if you were writing it down. Remember last time we got to like 6 or 7, we forgot what numbers we had?
That is true.
Not learning from your
This is
mistakes
like
here.
a low one for like a 7, 8, somewhere down there.
No, they're sweet. They're corn cereal with sugar on them.
Corn Pops are really good.
Bland.
You might need to try them again.
Which is really funny is he hates Lucky Charms. I love them. He loves Corn Pops. I love them. I don't understand where the flavor profile where we.
My number 1's a weird one though, so it's.
Okay.
I'm curious what everyone's number 1 is after all this.
Okay. What about Fruit Loops?
I think I have a 5 or a 6 left. They're mid. They're okay. I don't dislike them.
Maybe like 3.
Okay.
You go with the fruity cereals. I'm going with Fruity Pebbles over Loops, and I'm going with Multi-Meals off-brand Fruity Pebbles over actual Fruity Pebbles. I think they're called like Dino something.
Okay. I believe I have 8 left, so that's where Fruit Loops would go. And last would be Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Easy number 2. I have number 2 left. So you hit 2 of my 4 or 5 favorite cereals. That's one of them. I'll put that at number 2.
Okay, so now remembering what I had on the list, because like I said, I didn't really memorize this, I would probably flip Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Corn Pops, because I do enjoy Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
CT Crunch.
Yeah.
That is one of the few cereals that I don't like the off-brand generic multi-meal or anything like that. They just don't
Cinnamon
taste as
Toast
good.
Crunch has to be the original.
So with that being said, there's a couple that you missed that would be easily top 3, top 4, top 5
Okay.
for me. Honey Smacks is one of them.
Ooh.
I've never done a smack.
A lot of people don't. They're just delicious. They look weird. They're a very interesting looking cereal.
And you got the
And
frog.
Golden Grahams is my number 1 cereal of all time.
Ooh, Golden
and,
Grahams.
And again,
Okay.
if you don't notice, all these have honey in them.
Yeah.
Which is why when you say Honey Nut Cheerios, it's weird, but there's just not enough honey flavor. But yeah, Golden Grahams all day is my number 1.
Cool. Well, I guess that wraps up that segment.
Hold on, John, what's your favorite cereal overall? Of all time?
Yeah, I guess if
I
you
could
could, if
only eat one cereal ever again,
Yeah.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon
Okay.
Toast Crunch.
What about you, Tommy?
I know I put Lucky Charms number 1 on this list. Man,
Stupid.
I do love Crunch Berries, but it might be a nostalgia factor. Probably Probably Frosted Flakes if I had to eat it the rest of my life, because I am getting a little bit older and out of the. But I can't say sugar because they're covered in sugar.
Even a good soggy Cinnamon Toast Crunch is better than a soggy Frosted Flake.
Give me like a Raisin Bran Crunch though, because then you can have the flakes that get soggy, which I don't mind. Raisins I absolutely love, and then you have the bunches of oats, and those are just delicious.
And
Honey Bunches of Oats are pretty good.
And I will destroy a box of frosted shredded mini wheats dry.
You do that when we play video games, and I hear and I'm like, what
Becca
are you doing?
loves frosted mini wheats. When I told her I was doing this list, please put them on there. Please put them on there.
I can't put them in a bowl with milk. It's just dry.
Did you like the one that they came out like strawberry and blueberry ones? No. Did you like those?
No.
Okay.
It's like fruit related.
It's too healthy. Get it the fuck away from me.
Unless it's a sugar. I don't want it.
I go to the Cheesecake Factory for the first time last night, and I messaged.
I was going to ask you how that went.
I'll get into it in a minute, but cheesecake is always wonderful, but it's funny as hell because Fridge, what do you want, John? What do you want? He goes, anything that doesn't have fruit in it. So if there's anything semi-healthy in the cheesecake, he's not eating it. That's just all I hear.
I don't like cream cheese, so I don't like a cheesecake.
Here's the problem, Tommy.
I'm a bad fat
when's
man.
When's the last time you tried cheesecake?
That's a good question.
I bet you there is a flavor at the Cheesecake Factory that will convert you into liking cheesecake.
Okay, I will give you that.
I get it. A plain New York style cheesecake, if you don't like cream cheese, is probably going to fear you away. But you start getting into like pineapple upside down cake cheesecake, where the middle layer is actual cake. It's a lot less of the cream cheese layers. Then you have the pineapples topping, and you have the cherries. You start getting into these type of flavors. I think you could learn to like it.
I'm not anti fruit on cheesecake. I just don't like the gel.
Oh yeah, I also hate the
so
fact that... So
if it was just sliced up strawberries on cheesecake, I'm good.
Yeah, so I got the classic strawberry last night. There's no gel, or as a lot of people call it, and I fucking hate it, goop.
Goop.
I hate it when I want the strawberry goop, and I'm like, do you know goop is a medical term? It's like pus. It's disgusting. I don't want pus on my food, especially if it's moist goop. Don't know. No.
I'm not a big cake fan in general.
Your body says otherwise.
But I will destroy German chocolate cake and pineapple upside down cake.
Pineapple upside down cake is phenomenal, but German chocolate cake is from a guy named German from Texas, and it has coconut, and I can't, as we talked about last week, I cannot do the texture of coconut. That's all there is to it.
Not like an Almond Joy?
No, that was on our ranking
listen
list.
to our pod.
Yeah. The podcast you're on right now, listen to the first episode.
I started and I almost got in trouble at work, so I had to turn it off.
Oh, man. So anyway, we're talking a lot about being fat and eating food that's unhealthy for us. So it brings me up to a topic I wanted to talk about, because I just ordered from a compound pharmacy so they can make their own medicines if it's in short stock and blah, blah, blah. I ordered some semaglutide, which is generic for Wegovy, Ozempic, that type of thing. I think it's a miracle drug and what it's doing for people. So just kind of brought up this topic. Tommy, you've had bariatric surgery.
Yes.
I'm about to be on Wegovy. Fridge is doing the old-fashioned hard work and, probably blow on the side. He won't tell anyone. But
I don't make that much money.
We're all trying to lose weight in different forms and fashions. But I keep seeing on Reddit, and I see news stories, is things like bariatric surgery or weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy cheating. And it pisses me off. And it's not fat privilege, because I guarantee I don't have fat privilege, because there's no privilege of being fat. But to say you're cheating by taking a drug to assist weight loss or having a surgery or an operation is the same as, aren't you cheating to fight off a cold by taking antibiotics? I think it's stupid.
It is absolutely stupid, and mostly those people who make those arguments have never been overweight in their life. It's easy for... I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Go ahead.
Anybody who says that has never been overweight ever in their life. I will die on that hill. You have no idea what it's like to be overweight and walk a mile in my shoes. And you can't say anything to me until you've done so.
And I'll agree with that and add on to it. The fact is that there is an addiction center in our brain, and I happen to avoid the addiction to opiates and avoid the addiction to this, that, and the other. What I do have is fucking food addiction.
Yes.
I am the type of person where if I'm having a bad day, food makes me feel better. If I can't sleep, food makes me tired. If I need to wake up, food wakes me up. Whatever my body needs, if I feed it, it fixes my ailments at the time. And it's a true fucking addiction. I don't care what anyone says. It makes me feel good inside to eat, especially things I like.
Yeah, and I will agree. I have bad habits. I there is. I do see their side. Oh well, just don't eat that. Well, it's easy.
It's
you
delicious.
can go tell an alcoholic just put the beer down.
Or stop. Put the cigarette down if you're a smoker. Put the needle down if you're a heroin addict. These are all addictions, and they all have their own fixes. Mm-hmm. Are we going to tell the person that's addicted to opiates that's trying to clean up their life, stop taking methadone? Yeah. No, use your treatment. And that's what Wegovy and Ozempic are doing. They're making you feel full. They're satiating you. They're slowing down your digestion. They're doing so many good things. They're also killing cravings. And that's the big thing. It kills the craving. And they're noticing that it's actually might even be helping the craving center in your brain to kick other addictions. It's helping people quit smoking and drugs and things like that. So I'm supposed to get it sometime this week, so I'll be able to start reporting on how it makes me feel. So that's super exciting.
Well, to kind of go with what you're saying is I did have the gastric, and it's slowed down. I've lost 150, almost 60 right now, and I'm pretty much at my... That's kind of where I'm at, and I'm slowed down, and I've went up and down the past month. Gained 5, lost 7, gained 3, lost 5. So I actually talked to the doctor last week, and she's putting me on... It's a newer drug. I actually can't really think of it off the top of my head, but it helps with sleep apnea, and it's some form. It's something like Rexa. I'm not going to even get into it because I'm not completely sure. But it's like not covered by my insurance, but they're working on a prior auth to help kickstart back losing the weight to help me with the gastric weight loss. So hopefully you'll be getting it, I'll get it, and we can see how that helps, because I have sleep apnea, so that it's not just fat,
Yeah, no, I mean, it comes with serious health conditions on top of it. So yeah, and then you have Fridge, who's just begging me to work out, and I find excuses to not work out with him, and I'm sorry.
I've been very bad the last month, so I haven't gone to the gym.
So I feel a little less bad. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, but I'll be able to start reporting in how this makes me feel. My first dose should be in the next week, so that's exciting. So let's get right back into food, I guess.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I have another thing I want to bring up, and this is I've thought about this for a little bit. Fast food items that are discontinued, that you miss, you want back. It breaks your heart to know that they're not on the menu anymore.
So we went from gastric bypass being a food addiction right into what is the food you miss so bad?
That's what we do best, Tommy. Listen, I'm always going to be a fat kid inside. Even if I lose weight, I'm still going to go, I want that in my mouth.
Oh man, I'm going to get lambasted for this one. I love the double down from KFC.
Oh my god, it was so good.
It was
so bad.
Is
it
that
was all meat?
Is that the
bread.
chicken sandwich as the bun?
Yes.
Yes.
What was in the middle of that?
Cheese.
It's cheese and bacon in between two fried chicken patties?
And it had some type of sauce. It was so good.
Would that be considered carnivore?
Dude, hey, I have to have protein on this gastric. I have to have, I think it's 110 protein a day. So it really does help with the bacon and the chicken.
Oh, there's so many better ways to get protein than fried.
Oh yeah, that is
fat.
not the correct way to get my protein.
See,
but
you say you're a bad fat man. I am a bad fat man because the two foods in this world that I dislike is pizza and bacon. Bacon is gross. So good. It's
and sorry, I'm terrible at cutting people off.
Either.
No, I was thinking we should rank the best bacons. And then I remembered this dude don't like bacon.
They're
and it
all
would be
How can you rank the best bacon? There's no good bacon.
Yes,
Oh, absolutely.
No.
If you get,
in my opinion, Oscar Mayer and Black Label Hormel are fantastic.
Your lizard brain is saying, I need salt and fat to survive, but we're not 10,000 years ago in the Arctic surviving the winter. You're inside a heated home in Warren, Michigan, wearing clothing. You don't need bacon, which is fat and salt. That's what your body craved with your lizard brain. It was survival mode. Nowadays, we can go, I would like a nice salad with some chickpeas and some low-calorie raspberry vinaigrette. I'm not hating. Bacon's gross. Good. It's lizard brain. It's prehistoric.
Oh, man.
It's unmanly.
There was even a Cinnamon Toast Crunch bacon that was released, and put that out on the griddle.
They're just looking deeply into each other's eyes and ignoring me right now because they don't want to hear
James
bacon
does not
blasphemy.
exist at this moment.
Oh, I'm going to turn your mic off in a second. Oh,
chocolate-covered bacon.
Anyway, the double down. The double down is your answer. I hate Taco Bell. But they
hate it.
But they had one thing I liked. It hasn't been around in 15, 20 years. It was the grilled stuffed burrito. That thing had a fiesta salsa and a Baja sauce and cheese and rice and beans and beef, and it was grilled. It was like, I'm pretty sure the reason they brought the grill out, except for quesadillas, was the grilled stuffed burrito. And that thing did wonders to me, and I want it back. Yeah.
They had an enchilada. It was basically enchilada, and a burrito got married. It was amazing. They brought it back last year. And that was one of the times I said to Becca, let's go to Taco Bell. And I thought her jaw hit the floor. You're going to say, let's go to... And she took me because when they... And then it left again.
Did you see... Did I send you that? It was TikTok. The guy who was making fun of Taco Bell.
No.
And people that like it.
Maybe, yes, you did.
So it's the same thing in a different shape.
Yeah. It's 6 ingredients all rearranged.
Yep.
So Shelby also doesn't like Taco Bell. We've had it maybe a couple times in a year and a half we've been together. One of those times, and I can't get over this, we're in Vegas. It is one of the food hubs of the damn world, and we're drunk. It's 10 p.m. We're in a hotel room. She's in a robe, just got done soaking in our jacuzzi tub because I got a nice suite. We're in the middle of Michelin star reviewed chefs and high-end steakhouses, and this bitch door dashes Taco Bell to our fucking hotel on the strip of Vegas. It's not even like we're staying off the strip. She made this poor DoorDash person who's probably delivering to the suburbs, workers getting off their shift at the casino. Oh, I just got done dealing cards for 12 hours. I need some fucking Taco Bell. I can't cook. And this driver has to get Taco Bell from 4 miles off the strip and fight traffic and deliver it to us at the strip casino. Oh, God. I'm never going to let her live that one down.
That I don't understand. If I'm in a new place, I have to try the food in that area. If I can get it back home, I'm not going to get it there.
So we picked a trip that we're going to go on. It's probably going to be our honeymoon in late 2026. We're going to Indonesia. How much you want to bet she'll sniff out a Burger King while we're there? Because she's going to see food stands on the side selling fish and bugs and go, I'm not fucking eating here.
Some bugs.
I have eaten bugs. I have a scorpion sucker in the other room. You want to eat it?
No, isn't it the hot one?
No. It's sweet. I believe it's apple flavored, actually.
I have a healthier option. Red Robin used to have the Red Robin's rice bowl. It was basically rice, bunch of vegetables.
There was rice in the rice bowl?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Oddly enough. Bunch of vegetables like peas, carrots, you name it. Teriyaki sauce, grilled chicken.
Grilled chicken's not a vegetable.
Well, thank you. That was the protein, and I loved it. It got removed probably 10 years ago, back when they came out with their pub burgers. I miss that, and every time I go there, which is maybe once a year, maybe less than that, I still ask them, do you have it? Nope. Oh, I try. I miss that.
I'm not going to unlimited bottomless steak cut Parmesan garlic French fry restaurant for vegetables.
I do every time I went there. That's what I got.
Oh,
and then I
go there then.
Well, because a group of friends that I went wanted the bonsai burgers or the Whiskey River barbecue burger.
It's like going to Del Taco and getting a cheeseburger, which I did.
Cheeseburgers and churros.
And there was no burger patty in my damn burger. They literally probably laughed at me and said, "No one's ever ordered a fucking cheeseburger here. Why are you here? It's Del Taco, not Del Burger."
So, well, I actually got a funny story about that.
I'm going to Red Bull, not Red Robin gourmet hamburgers, not Red Robin gourmet rice bowls.
So there was a
No,
night.
we're not done with this. I'm going to make fun of you more.
Okay, well,
Okay,
it's ordering burgers at Del Taco. I was a little inebriated, and me and Tim went to Del Taco around 3 a.m. one night. And I thought it would be funny to mess. I always thought it was funny to mess with the drive-through workers, like going to Taco Bell and ordering a Mexican pizza with stuffed crust and stupid things like that. Well, I went and I'm like, "Can I get the 2 fat burgers for my big fat mouth?" I thought this guy in the drive-through was going to lose it. And me being a little bit drunk and Tim being drunk, I literally... not funny to you guys, but it was nostalgia because you said who orders burgers at Del Taco. Immediately brought me back to that moment of saying, I need 2 big fat burgers for my 2 big fat mouth. And it was a good moment for me. And if Tim is listening, he's probably losing it too because we bring that up once in a while. So,
John, any fast food items that are gone forever that you want back?
I want McDonald's to bring back the super size.
You want super... Didn't they just get rid of their small and everything got upgraded so their large is their super size now?
A super size was like a liter.
Well,
I'll take a liter of cola.
Yeah,
do we have a liter of cola? Shut up, Farva. Just get a large Farva.
McDonald's chocolate shake.
I don't want a large Farva. I want a goddamn liter of cola.
Super size chocolate.
What about the big extra?
Big extra.
Big and tasty?
Well, there was a
big and tasty.
There was a big and tasty, and I thought that
which
big
was like
extra,
their Whopper.
Yep, and then they had, I think it was the big extra, which was a fancy burger.
Not fancy. I'd rather.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it was maybe 5 or 10 years ago, and it was basically a big and tasty, but it had a
or was it called the
sauce.
Arch Deluxe? I'm sorry.
The Arch Deluxe is a long, long time
Yeah,
ago.
I think it was the Arch Deluxe, not
No,
the.
there was a big extra. You're right.
Okay.
It was like their attempt at like a high-end fast food burger.
Yeah.
It was like a sirloin burger.
Mm-hmm.
It was twice as thick. Yeah, I do
We're
remember that.
fat, dude. Of course we remember that stuff.
Fridge sticks with the classics.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets. Man, one time texted me, goes, I just had 60 nuggets for lunch. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah,
With,
how my sister is. No matter where she goes, she'll look at the menu for like an hour. Yeah, I'll take the chicken tenders. It's like
my wife is nachos. No matter where you go,
Yeah,
nachos.
I don't hate on people that get chicken tenders everywhere they go, but like if you go there a second time, get off the chicken tenders. I don't mind you if you go there and go, I don't know if I want this place yet. I want to judge them. Judge them on something simple. If they fuck up chicken tenders, they're not going to do anything else good. Mm-hmm. But if you go there a second time and you get chicken tenders for a second time, there's something wrong with you.
I don't get it. The only other thing she'll go is she goes to Big Rock. She'll get steak, but
Big Rock, Black Rock.
Thank you, Black Rock.
Oh, I'm not paying extra to cook my own fucking food.
Cook my own food.
That place can go away.
Yeah, she gets steak at Black Rock and chicken tenders everywhere else.
Oh man. So I mean, okay, let's flip it. How about restaurants that are closed that you want back? I bring this up because there's news that Chi-Chi's is making a comeback.
That was just in my head because they had the best fried ice cream.
They had amazing fried ice cream and a side of hepatitis B.
It doesn't matter to me.
It does matter.
I loved Chi-Chi's.
I can't say I like anything there except for their fried ice cream. However, I believe it's the owner's son trying to revamp it and bring it back. He said it's going to be a mix of old and new, so he's going to revamp the menu, upgrade the quality, and all that kind of shit. So I will try it. There's supposed to be some coming to Michigan, but...
Are there any Denny's left?
I just had this conversation the other day. There is one somewhere around here. I literally just looked it up. But yes, there are some. But we'd have to tag this as very explicit if we got into my stories about why I end up at Denny's at 4 a.m. and what happens there.
Denny's in Ramshorn in Michigan are
So, well,
drunken nights.
Ramshorn. My mom was a manager at Ramshorn, so that's I've had a lot of experiences there. But Specifically, one time I remember I was driving around with my friend and these two girls. One of the girls I went to school with, I haven't talked to her in many years, and we ended up reconnecting somehow. We're hanging out. It's 4 a.m. We're driving to 6 and Gratiot to pick up something illicit for my passengers. My wheel is about to fall off because someone didn't tighten down the lug nuts on a tire change like the day before. So my car's shaking. My wheel's about to fall off. I'm at 6 and Gratiot doing a deal for things that I'm not going to mention on a podcast so that the girls in the back will sleep with me possibly. And then we get to Denny's at 4:30 in the morning, and there I run into, and I'm not joking, there's two other girls there. They're the only other ones in this restaurant. It was like a Wednesday morning, and they're good looking. They're emo scene chicks. Start flirting with them. Turns out they're suicide chicks, suicide girls back in the day. You know.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
They were alternative
tattooed models.
They were alternative nude models. You know, the tattooed and the colored hair and the shit like that. When everything else was running rampant of the Trish Stratuses and the blondes and the perfect tits. Anyway, long story short, I ended up paying for that other table's meal because a suicide girl at 18 years old touched my pee-pee under the Denny's table. There's a lot more to this story, but I'm trying to keep it as friendly as I can online without getting me in trouble. But that is essentially what happened.
Tommy, I think.
Tommy is dying over here.
Tommy died.
I just can't believe you said that on the podcast.
There's very few things I won't talk about. So, yeah, I ended up making it home, and my wheel did not fall off, thankfully. But yeah, that's my...
The wheels are falling off on this thing.
That is like the last time I remember going to Denny's.
Oh man, I'm racking my brain. I'm racking my brain on things that have closed or restaurants that have closed.
I got mine is Old Country Buffet.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It was what Golden Corral wants to be, but better. And where else can you find chocolate milk in a fountain?
If I've ever been there, I don't remember it, and I've never been to Golden Corral.
So there's no reason to go to Golden Corral. I mean, there's I like a couple things, but I'm not paying $25 for a buffet if I only eat two things off the buffet. But it's their bread pudding and their meatloaf. Those are the two things I like there. But Old Country Buffet was actually decent, home-style cooking. Their meatloaf was fucking phenomenal. The mac and cheese was great. They had a slicing carving station with ham and pot roast and roast beef and all that shit. But like I said, Fridge, I know you like it. They had a milk fountain. Chocolate milk, unlimited, serve yourself drinks. And right before they closed, they came out with ices that were serve yourself as well. So
Ponderosa wasn't bad.
So there's still some. There's one.
okay.
There's one in Bay City still.
Okay.
And they're still big down south, and I think they're the same company as Bonanza. Same thing.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a great one. You know, you buy a steak and you get a buffet, and then you fill up on the buffet and take your steak home.
One that is, I think, is up north past Flint. I want to say
a water plant maybe.
No, I want to say Saginaw is Bennigan's. They had a good Monte Cristo.
So a lot of people talk about the Monte Cristo there, and I've never had it from them, but there's a place here locally at 11 and Ryan. It's a Coney Island attached to a gas station.
Okay.
They have the best Monte Cristo I've ever had. So shout out to them.
Good to know.
Sorry, I can't remember your name, but it's a Coney Island at 11 and Ryan, attached to a gas station. You can't miss it. But it was super good. I think it might be Universal Coney Island. I don't know. There's 1.5 million Coney Islands around here.
Yeah. It's kind of a staple in the Detroit area.
For anyone listening, if you are out of state, by the way, I see this all the time, where YouTubers and food bloggers and all that kind of stuff, they go, we're going to rank regional variants of, say, a chili dog or whatever. Coney dogs are not chili dogs. And they always just make like a chili that you would eat out of a bowl and put it on a hot dog and say, this thing is not that good. That's because it's not Coney sauce. Coney sauce is not chili. It is made typically, traditionally, with beef heart. And it is totally different than the chili you would eat out of a bowl with some crackers and cheese. So if anyone out there is listening and you're going to try a Coney dog and you're not from Metro Detroit, look up a recipe for a Detroit-style Coney sauce, not chili. So there's the end of my fat rant.
So what else did you do this weekend?
We're gonna talk about what I did this weekend.
Well, I know that you've seen The Monkey.
That was on Thursday. That's not the weekend, sir.
Semantics.
I'm thinking Friday, Saturday, Sunday when you say this weekend.
I also know you went in. You did stand-up comedy or seen some stand-up comedy as well.
I saw Sal Volcano on Friday, which was awesome, and then that sparked me and Shelby wanting to go to more stand-up comedy shows because they're my favorite form of live entertainment.
Okay.
So I bought Chad Daniels tickets for a week from this Thursday. He's playing in the Blind Pig in Ann Arbor. Can't wait to see him. And then the Thursday after that, Joe Gatto. So I'm going to see 2 of the 4 Impractical Jokers in the span of 1 month. So that'll be super fun. Anyway, yes, I did see The Monkey. So let's keep it spoiler free for that.
Okay.
I thought it was great. I don't like horror movies that take themselves too seriously when they try and be like a comedy horror. I think they did a great job of that, not taking itself too seriously, but also keeping the horror aspects. It's very campy, gory horror. The comedy was well timed, like the pamphlet for skydiving. You know, I'm not giving away the joke itself, but it paid off in the end.
Yep.
The deaths were over the top and funny. I like the movie. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. I will see it again. And the only thing I can really say negatively about it is Act 2 kind of drug on a little bit for me in the middle of the movie. But overall, I think the pacing was well timed otherwise.
Okay, so I watched it last night.
How'd you watch it, Tommy?
Through an app on my Fire Stick.
Did you use a VPN, you dumbass?
No.
Who do you use for your internet?
Why would I put that out there?
Because I want to see you get a letter in the mail saying you illegally watched this.
So, now you got me off track. You can't interrupt me.
You interrupt everyone.
I know. Well, that's...
Get the railroad back in alignment here.
You know, that's part of my charm.
Jesus, we stopped talking about food and you can't pay attention.
Well, one thing that I didn't go into it knowing anything besides it was a killer monkey doll. I like that...
The monkey never killed anyone.
Well, I like that... I believe her name is Tatiana Maslany, the girl who played She-Hulk. I was pleasantly surprised she was in there.
She was the mom, right?
Yeah, she was the mom.
Yeah. I've never seen She-Hulk, so...
Okay. The show... But I like her. So I was pleasantly surprised she was in the movie. The movie gave me Final Destination vibes.
A little bit, yeah. I could see that.
It was, like you said, with the comedy, horror, it was kind of like the Terrifier, but not as gory. Because, like, Terrifier can kind of have that comedy goofiness to it. You know, Art the Clown can kind of be goofy, but he's way more sadistic and way more gory. So, anyway, listen.
He's also adorable.
Yeah, so let's say Terrifier's a 10 on the gore. This is like a 3 or a 4. So,
but that's such an unfair comparison.
I know that. I'm just saying,
you can almost not compare anything to the Terrifier when it comes to like gore rating.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, far as the funny aspect, like there, I will give. If you want to say
funny like a clown,
funny how. I will say one funny that if you consider a spoiler, the lures to the face, the fishing lures to the face. I'm like, ow, that would hurt so bad because she has to pull them off in the movie. I'm like, that would hurt.
So,
if you consider that a spoiler, oh well, but that doesn't really give away anything in the movie.
If you ever get hooked with a fishing lure and it's a barbed lure, don't fucking pull it out the way it went in. You got to snip the end of it. It's so you're gonna tear your
fishing line trick.
You can do that too. Yes. You want to explain that for our audience so they know?
I don't do it. I just rip it
out. You're also the guy that fell in the ice fishing 2 weeks ago after telling me it's safe.
That's true.
I don't even know if I want to go hunting with you. I'm gonna end up like what's that the vice president Dick Cheney or something?
Or no, yeah.
That's hunting.
You're gonna Dick Cheney me while I'm gonna walk in front of you and all of a sudden get shot in the ass Please use birdshot around me.
When the boys transitioned to adults, it did slow down the pacing, like you said, the second act. But overall, I would watch it again. I know Becca's going to want to see it, so I definitely would watch it again. I recommend the movie. I believe, if I caught right, the babysitter's name was Annie Wilkes. Is that a throwback to Misery?
Jeez, you're asking me to remember something that happened. I can't remember what I had for breakfast, dog.
Pretty sure the babysitter's name was Annie Wilkes, so I'm guessing they were probably doing a throwback to Misery.
I mean, it could. I mean, that's another Stephen King thing. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
IP. I mean, everything is supposed to be connected through the tower anyway, right? I mean, so
because this was a short story by him, correct?
Yeah, the tower though. I don't even want to get into that heap of fucking trash. One of the worst Stephen King adaptations I've ever seen in my life. So on the form of entertainment, Tommy, I know you brought this up. I haven't watched it, but it brings up some fun topics. You watched the Saturday Night Live 50th, right?
Sure.
Any highlights you want to talk about, fun things, or do you want to just get into some Saturday Night Live talk here? Because I know we could talk about that. We have a special surprise guest here, actually, Mick Foley.
Matt Foley?
Matt Foley, yeah. Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Mick Foley's a little bit different. We can talk about that in a different time. Good.
So if we go through the SNL, they had quite a few throwbacks to old sketches. Highlights were the Lawrence Welk show, where they brought back the girls from the Finger Lakes, where Kristen Wiig plays with the little baby hands, and Will Ferrell did Robert Goulet. That was a good one. I don't know if are you caught up on like SNL recently?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Because there's
I see the best of on TikTok, and if it makes me laugh, I find the full sketch on YouTube, and that's about the extent of my
Okay,
Saturday
are
Live.
you familiar who Domingo is?
Yes.
Okay, they did a sketch with Domingo. I think he's hilarious. I love the Domingo sketches. I think they're so dumb, but that's just me.
The only one I seen was the one with Ariana Grande.
Okay.
So I think that was the first one. I could be wrong.
Okay. Another highlight was Tina Fey. This highlight to me was Tina Fey and Amy Poehler were doing answers to the crowd, asking questions and stars. And Keith Richards was looking for his scarf from like 1992 or 1982. And they pan over to Zach Galifianakis, and he's got it like wrapped all around his body. And he's like, I don't know what you're looking for. And his joke, that was one of the funniest parts of the night to me, was just because Zach Galifianakis is hilarious to me.
He's wonderful. So one of the newer Saturday Night Live sketches that I die laughing. Have you guys seen the one with the Beavis and Butthead with Ryan Gosling?
You know, it is easily moving up as one of the top 10 of all time. It's hilarious.
When they break character, I lose it. Have you seen that one?
Heidi Gardner loses her mind when she turns around and sees...
I think this is a great time for us to take a quick break, and I'll show you guys. We'll play it real quick, and then we'll come back and talk about it. So we're going to pause this podcast. I'm going to show them the Beavis and Butthead see it. All right. So we just introduced Fridge, John, our guest, to the Beavis and Butthead Saturday Night Live skit. They break character so much in that one. And I think that always makes me laugh even harder when they break character on Saturday Night Live.
It makes the skit.
Yeah. It's just so stupid. I've never heard of this Beavis fella. With that being said, though, first of all, Tommy, I'm going to open this up, and you know what I'm going to ask.
I have a feeling.
Let me hear a little bit of Matt Foley.
Any particular part of the skit? Because I know it word for word.
You know the skit, right? Living in a van down by the river? You're staring at me blankly. Do you not watch TV?
I do not watch a lot of TV.
Okay. Well, it's a famous skit from the 90s. Tommy, hit me with a line or two. Just
okay. How's everybody doing? Good. Oh man, I gotta get back into character. Like,
you're nervous.
No, I'm just trying to.
I can see your nipples hard from here. That's nervous nipple.
Well, last week it was my pajama pants. This week it's my nipples.
Oh gosh.
So
just imagine the audience naked. Please let us know if you're naked out there. Send pictures to MondayNightMeatandPotatoes@gmail.com.
He gets so loud, so I hope I don't get too loud in the mic.
Oh, you spilled cola.
He's an idiot.
Tommy with his cords.
Tommy is the one yanking on the cable.
Well, I'm trying to get into character, and Matt Foley moves around a lot. So sitting stationary.
Well, kids, me and your mother, we decided to bring in a motivational speaker. Now, he's used to big crowds, so let's make him feel welcome, okay? Matt, we're ready for you.
How's everybody doing? Good. Now, as your father probably told you, my name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker. First off, let me give you a little scenario what my life is all about. I am 35 years old. I am divorced. And I live in a van down by the river. Now, I know you're probably asking yourself, hey, Matt, how do we get back on the right track? Well, I'm here that you shouldn't be using that paper for writing, but for rolling doobies. You'll be doing a lot of doobie rolling when you're living in a van down by the river. I mean, I could go the whole skit and probably a little more...
years ago when you did that skit, you were pretending to be older. Now you're pretending to be younger. I am 35. You're a lot older than I now.
Yeah.
So, Fridge, my buddy who doesn't watch any TV, do you have any Saturday Night Live skits you like? Do you know any?
The only thing that I ever watched on SNL was Spy vs. Spy.
That was Mad TV, dog.
Mad TV.
Which, you know what? We can talk about it. I think Mad TV is superior in a lot of ways. I really do.
Oh, yeah, Mad TV with the little comic book cartoon.
Yeah, Mrs. Swan, and then you had Stewart. I want a cookie.
Look what I can do.
I loved Will Sasso as John Madden.
Will Sasso's fucking amazing as John Madden. But yeah,
Popcorn popper.
I think Mad TV was superior in a lot of ways. So, I mean, we just watched one of my favorite skits of Saturday Night Live. Obviously, Matt Foley, one of the best. A lot of mine that I love dearly is from the late, great Chris Farley in general, but I gotta go overall is the Chippendales dance with him and Patrick Swayze.
Man.
It's pure Chris Farley. And just all of that for the punchline of, if it wasn't for your obese body, you would have won.
Well, we thought about it, and we just decided that he has a way better body, and the women are going to want him just a little bit more.
But, I mean, even Patrick Swayze said, like, he outdanced me. Like, it's fucking wonderful. Perfect, segue here. I actually thought about this the other day. So it's not SNL, so maybe Fridge can comment here. Who was the better powerhouse comedian in the 90s? Was it Adam Sandler or Jim Carrey? I believe wholeheartedly that there is a right and wrong answer here. I want to hear you guys' opinion first. A lot of blank air here. Someone say something.
You posed the question to him.
I'm posing it to both of you.
Jim Carrey.
Okay.
Do you want my reasoning?
Yeah.
I thought he was fantastic in Living Color. It was...
For anyone born after 2000, In Living Color was a Wayans Brothers sketch comedy show much like Saturday Night Live. And that's how Jim Carrey got his start.
Fire Marshal Bill.
One of the best characters ever.
Yeah. He was amazing as Fire Marshal Bill. That show was great. Sunday nights. And then Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber to me is one of the best comedies ever.
It's amazing. It's a perfect comedy.
And Adam Sandler, while great, Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison to me can't hold a candle to Dumb and Dumber. One of my favorite Christmas movies is The Grinch. Jim Carrey was amazing in that.
I think you're getting just out of the 90s there, so we have to ignore that.
Sorry if I go back.
Yeah, but so, I agree that I think like you have a better roster of movies with Jim Carrey. Adam Sandler's great. You have The Waterboy and Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, and those are iconic movies, and I can quote you line by line that entire fucking movie, and people actually hate watching these movies with me, either Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler, because I will quote the whole movie while we're watching it. But Jim Carrey with Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, The Mask, and my personal favorite Jim Carrey movie, The Cable Guy.
Now, The Cable Guy is not my favorite, but I still enjoy that movie. And even Ace Ventura: Pet Detective When Nature Calls, I know it wasn't as good as the first one.
I disagree.
I still enjoy the heck out of that movie.
I just finally I watch When Nature Calls more because I like it better. I just watched Pet Detective again a week or two ago. I like them both, and Jim Carrey himself has even said he hated the sequel. He hated When Nature Calls, and that's why he did not do another sequel for a long, long time. Which he probably should have kept that after Dumb and Dumber 2. Gosh, that was an awful fucking movie. But yeah, I think When Nature Calls is better. There's so many more quotable moments for me. Quintuocha on its own, or White Devil, or
Can you quit referring? I couldn't help you refer to me as White Devil. That's how they know you.
Quintuocha. He just said, "Let me guess, White Devil."
You speak Wachuchu?
Excuse me.
Your balls are showing.
Bumblebee Tuna.
Bumblebee the tuna to you. I was unaware that the Wachuchus were biters.
And so I just learned this the other day, actually. So that scene when he's driving, hey there, chitty chitty bang bang, he's singing that song while he's driving. He forgot his lines, and that's why he did that.
And just made it up right on the spot.
Yeah. So how do you do with the how they greet each other with the?
I look away at a lot of that scene.
Yeah, it is kind of...
The one thing that grosses me out is snot and phlegm. And
why aren't I the popular one?
So, I'm imagining this because they walk out of the hut and they're...
And he's just covered.
Yeah.
So, the beginning, when they're just using normal spit, whatever, that doesn't bother me. Oh, God, my mouth's watering. Thanks, fucker. Oh, my God. But, and he does it in both movies, though, but, when he fucking U-turns and flips the car into the park.
Like a glove.
Like a glove.
Yeah.
So fucking awesome. And he gets caught jacking off by the translator. And he's... I was practicing my mantra. Well, we have to go, Ace. Give me a minute. I get cranky if I don't get my meditation in.
Yeah, but that movie was great.
I gotta go Jim Carrey, and that's not to say that Adam Sandler was not a powerhouse comedian in the mid to late 90s. I love all of his movies. I'll quote The Waterboy and Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore all day, but yeah, I think Jim Carrey was more solid.
Yeah, if you were to ask me, hey, you want to watch a Jim Carrey movie or an Adam Sandler movie, it'd definitely be a Jim Carrey movie.
So and with both of them too, because The Cable Guy is my favorite Jim Carrey movie. My favorite Adam Sandler movie is Little Nicky. So they're both kind of nowhere near anyone else's top of the radar, but I don't know. They both crack me up. Absolutely.
Going back to Jim Carrey. Liar, Liar.
Liar, Liar's phenomenal.
Fantastic movie.
Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh, man.
It's just great. I love it. He's like, I love the scene when his sons are like, my dad may have advanced delusionary schizophrenia with involuntary narcissistic rage, but he is a very gentle person. And it zooms to him, and he's like fucking raging out to metal in the car, and she's holding a lawn dart, scared to shit to him. That's just so fucking funny to me. Oh man. They both fell off hard lately. Jim Carrey's done Sonic 2 and 3. I haven't watched them yet. Sonic 1 was great. But I mean, Adam Sandler's deal with Netflix, I think only one or two of those movies that he's made with them is watchable to me.
What do you think about Happy Gilmore 2 coming?
I'm excited and nervous at the same time.
I kind of lean the same way, but I'm excited that they brought back Shooter and Julie Bowen, who played so they're bringing the originals back. So
I mean, it should be fun, even if it's just nostalgia. I mean, other sequels that they brought out that they shouldn't have, Super Troopers 2, terrible movie, but I absolutely love it because I love Super Troopers. But yeah, I mean, the last movie that Adam Sandler made that I liked is probably Uncut Gems. But it's not even a comedy. It's a 90-minute anxiety attack.
That movie.
I was on edge the entire fucking movie. And the end, I'm not going to give it away for those of you who haven't seen it, but the ending, it was like, holy shit, yeah. I mean, it makes sense, but damn, what an ending.
That movie is...
It was great.
At first, I didn't like it. And I watched probably 20, 30 minutes, and I'm like, this movie's not that great. Then I restarted it and watched it and love it.
Yeah.
It
started a little slow.
Yes.
Yeah, but it builds up the anxiety the entire time, and even the music. It's a subtle music change, but it's all there to induce anxiety and panic. But
Yep.
Before that, I mean, the last movie I remember loving of Adam Sandler's was That's My Boy, and that's what, fucking 12 years ago already.
I wasn't even really a fan of that.
I loved it. You know, it gave me that old school late 90s, early 2000s Adam Sandler vibe, and I thought Andy Samberg was awesome in it. But
Andy Samberg was good in it.
But that's the last movie of Adam Sandler I like. And then Jim Carrey. Obviously, I liked Sonic, but before that...
I can't even name a movie.
Yeah. I'm going to pull it up, but like...
Fun with Dick and Jane.
And that was what, 2004?
All right. That was all right.
It was okay. I haven't seen the original it was based on, so I can't comment on it as a remake. But let's see. Bruce Almighty was amazing. It's
okay, that's a great one, yeah.
Truman Show.
That was what, 03? 03?
So yeah, okay, we're for Jim Carrey, the last movie I absolutely think I adored, 2008, Yes Man.
That was a good one.
I liked Yes Man.
Yeah.
After that, he did Kick-Ass 2, which he hated doing because it had violence in it. Come on, Jim Carrey, get over it.
Mm-hmm.
He did that Weird Hotel one too, didn't he?
Oh, Weird Hotel. Number 23?
Was it 23?
The number 23.
23.
There you go.
Maybe Hotel 23.
It was the number 23.
There was Dark Crimes, which I didn't see. It got late released. Mr. Popper's Penguins. Horton Hears a Who came out in the same year as Yes Man, so he was a voice there. Okay. There is a couple movies here on this list that I'm seeing that I didn't mind. This one is a guilty pleasure. It's an awful, awful shit show, heaping pile of garbage movie, but I like it. It's Burt Wonderstone.
I love that movie.
It's so stupid.
And when he puts the drill in his head, yeah. I crack up every time.
So Steve Carell and Steve Buscemi are best friends, and they have a magic show in Vegas in the 80s or 90s, and they got super famous, and then their show starts dying, and they're trying to figure out how to make it new and be new and fresh in Vegas and draw a crowd in. And Jim Carrey comes out of the scene. He's like the most famous musician, and he's basically Chris Angel's mind freak.
Yeah, he's like a satirical version of him.
Him and mixed with David Blaine. He's doing like, today I hold my pee for 3 weeks. You know, it's such a stupid fucking premise, but I love that movie. And then the other one by Jim Carrey that I do like, and it gets shit on a lot. It's not funny, but it's okay. I Love You, Philip Morris.
Nope. Never seen it either.
One of my favorite parts was him with his weird laugh. I can't give that facial over a podcast without the video.
Well, there goes the pod track. Who's pulling cables again?
Oh.
Go ahead and put that back up there, please. Quit pulling cables. Our recorder just fell. Hopefully it's still recording.
Still recording?
I think it's still recording.
Okay.
So forgive that. Technical difficulties. What were we talking about?
Just, there was one part of the movie.
Oh, yeah, you can do a facial on a podcast.
He was just like...
It's actually probably better if I do a facial on a podcast because it's not pornographic. Can audio be pornographic? I think it can.
ASMR?
Sound. Yeah.
Tommy, get on your knees, boy. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
moving on.
This week, to end our show, as we did last week. Last week we did the best barbecue sauce for chicken tendies fridge that was literally made for you and you didn't show up. So thank you for that.
I'm sorry.
But thanks for showing up week 2. This week we have 6 different brands of cola. Those to choose from are Coke and Pepsi, RC, Faygo, a brand called Dublin, as well as Save-A-Lot's Boardwalk Cola. So those are the 6 we're going to try. We're going to rank them best to worst. What's your guys' thoughts on this one? Do you have I'll tell you my favorite off the top.
I already know me and you are the same way.
I'm an RC Cola guy for some reason. I've always liked it. And I'll give RC props for their carbonation because I left a cherry RC 2-liter up at Fridge's cabin, and like a month later he went up there and he's like, it's still good.
I drank the whole thing.
It was like half gone.
Cherry RC Cola is the best cherry.
I hope it is. I hope we're going to rank these colas, and then we're going to have to do a cherry cola one next.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll maybe do that as like a little side episode for this one. We'll do cherry cola. But I guess we can get right into it. If you guys want to talk about what you think is going to be your favorite while I try number one.
I'm with James here. I love RC, so I hope that one is my favorite. But I was surprised last week. I thought Cattleman's Barbecue was going to be my favorite, and KC Masterpiece was number one. So I don't know. So we're going to start with number one. And James, you can go ahead and give your review as I take my drink.
Yeah, number one, it's a little syrupy. It seems a little thicker on the syrup versus the water. The carbonation doesn't really pop. I like a carbonated, overly carbonated soda. So I'm going to start this one right in the middle of the pack and move it as I go, but I'm going to put this one at 4.
So you're going to rank that number 4?
Yep.
Okay.
Tommy's writing these down. So.
Yeah. It tasted flat to me. I don't like it at all. I hope the other 5 are way better. I'm ranking that 6. Because I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, it's definitely not my favorite.
This is a very flat pop.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping pouring these in these cups and waiting 15 minutes to make these all flat, but I guess we'll find out here.
Where are you at? Yeah, by your face, I'm guessing a 6.
That's 6. It's like a
Yeah.
watery syrup.
Yeah.
It's like the bottom of a McDonald's.
I don't know why
Coke.
James even said 4. Good lord.
I'm just putting it as a reference point in the middle, and I'm
Make
probably
sure
going to
this
move it
is the
around.
same.
Yeah, you're going to be moving that to 6.
Yeah, that's.
So number 2, it's a better soda. It's lighter on the syrup. It's got a better carbonation profile. It's got a better flavor profile. It doesn't stick to the mouth as much. It's not as goopy.
There's that word.
There's that plus word again.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that at number 3 to start. Again, these are probably gonna change as we go on, but number 3 for number 2. Number 2 is number 3.
Okay, number 2 is number 3. It is not as flat tasting. In my mind, I imagine that this would be more of a Pepsi flavor, more to a Coke. I would rank this middle of the road. I'm going to give this a 3.
I'm going 4.
You're going to go 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not terrible. I could drink it.
Yeah.
So number 3 for my cups has the most bubbles on the side, but it's not translating to carbonation in my mouth. It's different. It's lighter on everything. It's a lighter syrup. It's a lighter mouthfeel, lighter cola flavor.
Oh shit!
It's not bad, but it lacks depth. It lacks flavor. That one's going to 5.
That one's going to 5. Okay.
I'll agree with that one. That's a 5.
Now, to me, that had a little more sweeter taste and had a little more carbonation. I do agree with the bubbles. I did see the bubbles on the side of the cup. I actually like that the best out of all of them. And considering I ranked the last one a 3, I guess I have to go a 2. So that's where I'm going with this one.
All right, number 4. That one's got a weird taste to it. It's some kind of aftertaste. It's some kind of bite to it. I want to call it like a Dr. Peppery. It's almost got like a peppery, spicy, anise, allspice. There's something going on in that flavor profile that I haven't had yet in the first
Yuck.
3. I don't dislike it. That's not what I'm saying. I don't dislike it, but it's not great. Can you move my 4 and 5 down, Tommy, and put this one at 4?
Okay, so this is a 4 for you. And then this would become a 5. And then this becomes a 6.
It stays that weird.
It's an interesting flavor. I mean, that one was different.
Where are you at, Fridge?
Definitely not a good one.
Yeah, I did not like it
what
at
do we
all.
got?
I went 5.
Do I have a 5 on there?
Yes, you ranked number 3, 5.
Number 3 was 5.
So you have 3, 2, and 1 left.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Yep, 3, 2, 1. You've used.
I'm gonna flip flop
Okay.
number 4 and 6 or
Number 4 and 6.
this number 4 is 6. This is
That's your worst
I
one.
don't like that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's bad. So flip flop my 6, bring that one up.
Okay.
All right.
It's still sitting there.
So 5. Cup number 5. So far is my favorite. It's got the cola profile that I expect and love. I'm not trying to guess what these are, but I have a guess at which one that is. I'm gonna put that at 2 with the reminder that it might go to number 1 depending on how this next one goes. So I'll throw number 5 as my number 2.
Number 5 is number 2. Okay.
They all do have that certain flatness, and I believe it's from pouring them in these cups.
Yeah, it might be because these are just small, wide open cups. So,
Man, I'm right on target with you. That would be probably number 2 for me. That is really good. Oh, I already have 2.
oh no!
Man. Oh no. So I'm gonna rank that number 1 right now. Because that was really good. That's the best one I've tasted so far. I know it's not a nuanced take.
That'll be my number.
Oh, this one's good. Yep. That's your number 1?
Yeah. That's a good
Okay.
All right. Yeah, my final one. Again, it's a good one. I'm gonna have to go back in my mind here. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So 6 is really good too. I'm trying to debate if I want to flip my 1 and 2 here. I think I like 6 better than I like number 5. So I think my number 1 is going to be 6. I think that's what I have left open.
That is right. Okay. And then Fridge, you only have number 2 ranking left.
It's a solid 2 for me.
It's a solid 2
Yeah,
for you?
2. That'll work at 2.
And I have number 4 left.
And is it going to be that one?
No, that's a number 2 for me.
That's a
So,
solid.
It was pretty solid.
yeah, so 2.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I think we got our rankings done now.
let's bring up what I got here.
Okay.
So Tommy, my number 1 was number 6. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is RC Cola. I am happy I put that at number 1 because that is what I've always thought was my favorite.
And I have that ranked number 2, and I flip-flopped bringing that to... So, okay.
So what is my number 2 is number 5?
Yes.
So my number 2 is Coke.
And I have that as number 1, and he has that as number 1.
So I always thought I was a Pepsi over Coke guy, so that is interesting. What do I have as number 3, Tommy?
You have number 2.
Number 2 is Pepsi. Huh. So Coke, Pepsi, RC, the 3 I expected to be out in front. What's my number 4?
Your number 4 is 4.
That is Boardwalk Cola by Save-A-Lot.
Huh.
I have a feeling Faygo's going to be my last, but we'll find out.
I don't know. I think it's that Dublin.
Okay.
What's my number 5?
1.
5 is Faygo.
Okay.
So number 1 is Faygo. And then that leaves Dublin.
Dublin.
Old style cola. Got that on DoorDash, Dash Mart last minute. So go ahead and stop making that. What do you guys have for your rankings, Tommy?
Okay, so I am going to go with Fridge here. And running this real quick. So, Fridge, your number 1 ranking was Coke, followed by RC. And then you had number 3.
Dublin.
Yeah, number 3 was Dublin. And then you had number 4 was Pepsi. Number 5 was Faygo. And then number 6 was Save-A-Lot. Me, I couldn't pick between 1 and 2. But officially I had number 1 is Coke. Number 2, RC. Number 3, Dublin. Number 4, Pepsi. Number 5, Save-A-Lot. Number 6, Faygo. So that kind of pretty much came out.
You're pretty much a mix of me and Fridge, directly in the middle. But our top threes are pretty consistent.
Yeah.
So for those of you out there that want to save a buck, I mean, RC Cola is not to be slept on.
No, RC is awesome.
It's not only awesome, but 18 pack is $5 at my Family Dollar right behind my house. But on top of that, so stupid fun facts. No. This is why we aren't doing video yet, Fridge. So we are going to have video podcasts in the future, so hopefully you guys tune into that. But yeah, again, like I said last week, I'm full of fun, stupid, useless facts, and here's one for you. If it wasn't for Coca-Cola and the fact that they had more money and lobbyists and things like that, RC Cola would be our number one in this country. RC Cola, first of all, brought out the first Diet Cola, and Coca-Cola lobbied against it and said that the ingredients they were using were unsafe for human consumption, paid off judges, and got it banned. And then they brought out Right as their Diet Cola and took the market over. RC had to rebrand and redo everything from scratch. But yeah, RC was ahead, and because Coke had more power, basically crushed the little guy. And that's the history of RC Cola.
Wow.
Royal Crown all fucking day.
Yeah.
And that, and then I think back to like the first couple seasons of Family Guy. Do you know the joke I'm going with? Stewie and Brian are lost in the desert, and they're like thirsty, they're dying of thirst, and they see a mirage, and they go, "Oh my god, it's a Coca-Cola machine in the middle of the desert." They go, "Oh, it's just an RC machine," and they just leave it. RC, don't sleep on it. It's fucking amazing.
It's really good. Before we even did this test, we did rant and rave that it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have to buy RC. You had RC.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't go wrong with either Coke or RC, even Pepsi. It's still a top 3 choice for me, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it depends on what you want. I mean, you want a Coke, you go to McDonald's. You want a Pepsi, you go to Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
So with that being said, I think we're nearing our end here. Let us know if you would be interested.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I did want to bring up one quick thing before we wrap.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
Throwback to last week. You guys made fun of me because I didn't watch Scarface. I took the time and I watched it.
Uh-huh.
I am so angry at myself that I did not watch it earlier.
Oh, God, thank you.
It was fantastic.
I was worried you were about to give it a bad review.
No, I just wanted to throw that out there. I was absolutely amazed by it. Did not know Michelle Pfeiffer played in the movie.
And she looks great in that movie.
Hector Salamanca is in that movie from Breaking Bad. I just assumed it was about a drug lord who died from a rival gang. It is so much more than that movie. I did not know it was almost 3 hours. I figured it was 2 hours, 2:10.
Try the director's cut then.
But the reason why he was hunted down, did not see that coming.
The movie's from the 80s. I think we're fair to spoil this one.
Okay, that he wouldn't kill kids. So I have nothing bad to say about that movie. It was fantastic, and I guess a take on the movie. I feel like some video games kind of took from that, like you're a low-level thief and had to build and level up.
Are you sure it's games you're talking about, or is it the really bad, horrible ads you come across while scrolling across social media? Level 1 gang member helps the boss lady. All of a sudden,
and then level 1,000, and you're this big mogul.
We all know those ads, and they're fucking awful. But oh my god.
Yeah, but yes.
If we're gonna touch base on movies for a minute, I'm gonna bring this up. So my fiance has a control problem. And the control problem is what we watch on TV when we're sitting in bed. And she wants me to watch all these movies that she grew up watching. And, honey, I'm sorry if you're listening, but there's so many of them that are just fucking awful. And she's like, don't read up on them. I'm like, why? Because you don't want to see me having the 44% Rotten Tomato score and judging it before you put it on, or the 3.9 on IMDb. So, for instance, last night I showed her a movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. We watched Revenge of the Nerds. Okay. I love Revenge of the Nerds. She loved Revenge of the Nerds. So the Revenge of the Nerds ends. She goes, oh, my turn to pick a movie. And puts on Ever After with Drew Barrymore. First of all, I don't like movies that are in like the 1800s and shit like that.
I don't mind that, but
I don't. So it's a bad start already. Then you add in the fact that
It's got Drew Barrymore.
I don't dislike Drew Barrymore, but I don't need her with the awful fake, medieval accent. That made it worse. It's an awful take on Cinderella. That made it worse. There was just so many things that I didn't like about this movie. So we're halfway through this, and she realizes I'm not paying attention. So she turns it off to put on another movie. I'm like, wait, no. You just made me watch half a movie for you to turn it off. Doesn't mean you get to start a new movie.
Yeah.
And as the control freak she is when it comes to movies, decides that my opinion doesn't mean jack shit, and puts on another movie. Next movie she puts on, another movie I haven't seen, The Bone Collector. I don't like Angelina Jolie. I do like some Denzel Washington movies.
That movie wasn't that bad.
It's lower mid. It's not rewatchable.
I didn't say it was good. It wasn't that bad.
That's the same thing I told him as like, there's a lot of worse,
There's a lot worse, but it's not rewatchable.
Yeah.
It takes a blueprint
phoned
from
in.
like a Silence of the Lambs, where you have this guy that is unable to actually help solve the crime, giving advice on how to solve the crime, but the way they executed it falls flat. It's lethargic. Angelina Jolie is unconvincing as a police officer. There's just so many things about that movie I didn't like. So I'm giving that one a C-.
Yeah. I agree, but I wanted to touch base with that Scarface thing.
Yeah, no, that's totally awesome. Scarface is just phenomenal. Are there other gangster classics that you haven't seen, Tommy? Have you seen the Goodfellas?
Oh, absolutely,
Usual
Goodfellas.
Suspects?
Not in a while. I don't think I've seen all of Reservoir Dogs. I probably should go and do that one.
Dog.
Yeah,
Reservoir.
I couldn't get that out.
Boondock Saints.
Yes, I actually watched it with the club.
I think I touched it last week. I might not have. Pulp Fiction sucks. I'm not even going to recommend that one. What's the Pulp Fiction-esque movie with Travolta?
Get Short?
Get Shorty.
Never seen it.
I've never seen that one. But I've heard good things. But no, we should probably pick a movie to review each week, because why the fuck not? So again, throw it in comments. Let us know, first of all, if you'd like to see a video podcast, if you want to see some fat guys laughing and drinking soda and pulling on cables to ruin my fucking brand new recording equipment.
We could just drink the Sambuca.
It's already half gone. I don't mind Sambuca. That's the thing. I'd love to, we're going to do a live episode on St. Patrick's Day from the bar, so, that'll be a little tipsy-turny.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. But as for next week, tune in, next Monday night, Meat and Potatoes with us. We're going to review the best peanut butter. That's what I'm deciding. You don't like peanut butter?
It's got to be Jiffy Smooth.
That's what you think, right?
Yeah.
I grew up on Jif Smooth. It's not Jiffy, by the way. It's Jif.
You're thinking Skippy.
But we could, that's a great topic. Tommy, write that down for next week, because he brought up Jiffy. We need to go over some Mandela effects.
Okay.
Every podcast goes over this, but we might as well do it ourselves. But next week we're going to review the best peanut butter. We'll review a movie. We got some beer coming your way from Michigan that we're going to review. So we'll see you then next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, everyone.
That is the Meat and Potatoes this Monday. We'll see you next week.
I hope it doesn't show up, but I had a lot